Hi Kawan, welcome to EDCReady. Today we are doing a full disassembly and maintenance of this guy, the CJRB Pyrite in black G10. Links in the description down below as always. Now, a couple of things out of the box. The centering is pretty darn good. I've had this guy for about a day to see if I could wear it in a little bit. It does feel a little gritty around the pivot area, as you can see there. A little gritty there. But the most worrying aspect here is that there's a little up and down blade play in this direction. So I want to see if I can fix that a little bit. In terms of the D10, it's a little soft for my liking, but I guess it's okay. It still fires up, but let's see if we can get this just a tad bit smoother. Now, the pivots are T8, but from what I've seen online, it is a free spinning pivot. Let's see if it's free spins here. See, now I'll get that in play. And it's not spinning. It's coming open. See, there's any Loctite in there. In there. Keep going. There we go. Okay, no Loctite that I can see. Maybe a tiny bit, but that's okay. Move this guy here. Okay. Now, I am going to put my finger on this button to make sure it doesn't fly out. Or I can just hold it on like that. Yeah, let's do that. Because it opens up from this side, I believe. Yeah, that's coming out. And I think there is possibly one more screw that I need to take out for this one, which is where the clip is, right underneath the clip. Take out that guy. And I can already feel the spring tension trying to take this guy apart. You know what, let's just move both of these. Let's just remove both of these, just to make sure that I don't have any problems putting it back together a little bit later on. Okay, it goes there, that goes there. I will now open this up, like so, and then slowly lift up everything if it wants to come out. Oh, it wants to come out the other direction now. Okay. Okay, there we go. So as you can see here, a lot of skeletonizations, a lot of triangles here, just to keep everything as light as possible. What do we have here? We have a pivot bushing collar right here. So that goes there. So I would assume that that goes in there, just like so. Just nice. And then this guy goes right on top of that. And then this guy spins on this. Very, very nice. Let's just take out the button and the spring so that they don't fly around. I'm going to put that there. Okay. So from what I can see, there's only one of these bushings on one side. This little stainless steel bushing. There's only one of them on one side, but not on the other side. So I'm just going to keep that in mind. I'm not sure why that's the case. But yeah, I'm just going to keep that in mind as I clean up this guy. That is possibly why there's a bit of greediness in there, because it has that little bushing and that bushing has not worn in yet. So that's very, very interesting. I've never seen that kind of design where you have just one bushing, one of these bushings on one side that is pretty much taking care of the whatchamacallit, the bearings on one side. So I just got to keep that in mind when I put it back together and hope everything goes back together in the right way. Okay, wipe this guy down a little bit, and you can see the ceramic kind of has created a track there. But if you zoom in a little bit, you can kind of see where that grittiness comes from. The track where the ceramic kind of rides on is not completely smooth. You see here, there is a little bit of bumping here, a little bit of dents in there. Looking at it from the other side, nothing on the other side. But yeah, definitely those bumps are not going to help it be as smooth as it can be. But let's just lube it up. Let's see if the lube might improve it a little bit. Now I need to remember how to put together a button lock. I don't do it very often. I don't take it apart very often. I'm just taking it apart to see what it's like on the inside, because this guy's a little bit gritty. and a little bit not as smooth as I've experienced with other button locks, although my other button lock is just a really high-end one. So do keep that in mind. Okay, now let's put everything back together. Let's figure out how to put everything back together. This guy goes in here. These symmetrical on both sides. Now, is this a free spinning pivot? Oh, it's not a free spinning pivot. Nice. So it's a D-shaped pivot here, as you can see right there. D-shaped pivot. So it's not free spinning, which is interesting because the video I've seen from Metacomplex showed that this is a free spinning pivot, but it looks like this has been improved over time. So that's very, very nice. Okay, let's start lubing this up. It is symmetrical, so any direction is fine. Lubing it up. Put that down. Take that boy, loop that up. Loop that up. Yeah, put that down. Okay, and then the surface tension will be what will help keep it together. Just over lubing it because this is the first time taking it apart. Let's see what that can do to it. Nice and smooth. Now it's this other guy on this side that is not going to be the particularly smooth side because this is where the bumps are. Interesting. Okay, so that's all in place. Next up is the challenge of putting that button back into its spot. So first things first, does this come out? Yeah, this comes out. I'm gonna put this in here on the side. Put a little oil in there, not to prevent rust, but to kind of help keep everything in place. It is a shouldered stop pin, so just to show it to you. Yeah, you see here there's shoulders on the stop pin. It's just to help it stay in place, I assume. Don't know if one side is more prevalent than the other, so let's just put everything in. This is the dangerous part, because there's gonna be spring tension in this guy. See if we can do this another way. There we go. That's in place. Now, just need to put everything in its place. Okay. There. So it's kind of sucking everything in. Now I'm just going to hold down that button so it doesn't fly. Okay, looks like it doesn't go in that way. See now, how does this go? Does this fit all the way through? Yeah, that fits all the way through. Okay, so that's possibly a better way to put everything back together. Let's just stick this into place. Okay, everything's in place. And it seems like, there we go, that snaps into place. Yeah. It seems like this guy just kind of goes through, although, can I do that without the... Nah, I gotta take this apart again. Okay, round two, come on, we can do this. I am so nervous with springs in knives because I've lost one before and it's a headache to replace. Okay, let's try a different method. Let's put this guy in first. Okay, come on. Now, as much as I love the button lock, this is exactly why I prefer the compression lock. Because compression locks are just so much easier to manage and to disassemble. Okay, so that's in place. This guy is coming in. Okay, crunchy, super crunchy, but this guy is now out of place. So now I'm just trying to put everything in position. Just gonna manage push this over. No, that's not going into place either. Hold on. Round 3, come on. There's gotta be a smarter way to do this. Everything's got... Okay, so unlike the Malibu, it looks like everything's got to be in tension for it to get into position. Okay, come on, get into that hole. What's stopping you? There we go, it's in that hole. Okay, that's in position. That's in position. And the button locks out of place again. Luckily for me, the spring is not under a lot of tension. So it's not particularly jumping out. Just gotta find the right angle to do this. Maybe instead of it being closed, let's have it open instead. Okay, the spring's in the right place. It's the plunger that's not in the right spot. And I can't really push it down because the blade's in the way. Okay, come on, let's try this again. I'm gonna sit down for this one, get a closer look, excuse me. Alright, you guys can still see it, right? Okay, cool. This guy goes in here like that. It'd be so much nicer if there's something here to hold on to it. Kind of like that. Problem is, the minute I release any kind of tension in here, it is gonna go. So I can't really hold it in place and put this stuff back all together at the same time. And it's out, and look at that, it's out of slot again. Let's see now. There we go. That's in place. Now let's quickly put everything back together. Okay, that's in place. That's in place. Okay, T6s. So basically what I did was, as soon as I need to keep tension all the way throughout that, putting the scales together, I need to keep tension all the way around. Even if I let go of tension, the spring's going to push that button out of, that plunger out of position. So I needed to be really careful with how I angle it and how I push it in. Okay, so again, it got out of position once again, and I had to, in a way, use this guy to kind of like shimmy the plunger back into its hole. It goes in. This is the last frame screw. Okay, so now nothing is tight right now. I did it on purpose, just to release some pressure in the system. Now I can tighten it back up again. Something my dad taught me, you never want to completely tighten the screws until the other screws are in position. Okay, so these are tight now. Let's get that pivot back into place. Okay, check centering. Centering has gone a little bit off. Action is very stiff. There's no up and down blade play, but there's no movement at all. 0 up and down, 0 left and right. But now there's like almost no play at all. So we gotta loosen it a little bit. Now I've induced play. Tighten it back up. Okay, no left and right. That up and down blade play is still there. It's very, very, very minor, but it's still there. Button's working as it should. Okay, button's working as it should. Blade's locked. It's not coming out. Blade's locked again. No side to side. Button can fully depress. Up and down is still there, but it's very, very, very minor. It's like very minor, but you can still feel it. Don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, you can still feel that. Centering, let's see now. Centering has improved a little bit, but that could be because of the scale screws are need to be readjusted. Release that. Release that. So when I release it, it started bending in the other direction. So tightening that back up, and then tighten that back up. And it is still a tiny bit off, but it's not touching the scales. It's not touching the scales. So that's fine by me, but it was better before. So let's see if I can just push this back into position. See, watch this. I'm gonna tighten this and see what happens. There we go. Now it's back to center. Loosen it up. It's gonna go to the left, and it actually stabilized a little bit. Let's tighten that back up. Yeah, that's enough for me. Now it's over tight. Now it's way over tight. Okay, so this is just a demonstration of how tightness of the pivot affects the position. Too tight here is going to go to the right. Loosen it up, it's going to go to the right, and then it's going to just flex back to the middle. But when you do that, there's a heck of a lot of blade play. So it's all about fine-tuning it. No side to side, very, very minor up and down. Centering is pretty darn close enough to center. I think it is centered, but maybe just the blade is not perfectly symmetrical. Yeah, if you can see here, there's a little bit bigger hump here on this side than on this side, which gives it the illusion that it's not center. But it is, in fact, if you look at the tip most of the blade, it is actually center. Okay, that was a long disassembly video. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And let me know what you think about the build quality in the description box or in the comments down below. Thanks, guys, and as always, stay ready.